What is going on, Cowboys Nation? Paul Ryan back at it again. I hope everybody's having a good night. I missed you guys yesterday, and yesterday was a big day if you're a Cowboys fan. Somewhat, two of, we want to call them bombshells dropping for the Cowboys. Number one being Mike McCarthy and Jerry, and the Cowboys, rather, excuse me, officially parting ways as they could not come to terms on the length of a contract, which if I could have thought of a million reasons as to why Mike McCarthy wouldn't be the coach of the Cowboys in 2025, but length of a contract was not one of them. I'll admit, and it kind of has me wondering. How long was Jerry offering, and what was McCarthy asking for? I mean, I would think if you were going to bring back McCarthy, it would be wise to say, hey, we saw the success that he had with Dak, not this past year, obviously, but the year prior where he was second in MVP voting. Why not just have him be the coach for the remainder of Dak Prescott's contract? That kind of seems like a logical choice. That being said, looking at the size of Prescott's contract, he could probably be here for, I don't know, I mean, I'd imagine he's going to finish his career as a Cowboy, but, for the next 8 years, I would imagine is what we should expect Dak to see as the Cowboys quarterback. Then again, I think the next 8 years is what my prediction would be as far as how much longer Dak will be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, to give McCarthy that type of contract, I'm sure he wasn't asking for that, but it does seem pretty long, man. The only reason I think Dak's contract is going to stretch out that way is just because of how big it is and how the Cowboys are with the salary cap. They're going to try to make other moves. At least we hope. Get creative with contracts and kind of kick the can down the road, if you will, as we've seen them do with guys like Zach Martin and DeMarcus Lawrence. I'd imagine that's what's going to happen with Dak Prescott as well. So to think that, again, maybe having McCarthy be here for the remainder of Dak's contract, that would be something I think would be logical. But again, if you think about how long Prescott is going to be the quarterback of the Cowboys, then to have your head coach who hasn't had a lot of success in the playoffs, at least, that seems like a long time. I mean, we look at Mike Tomlin, look at his track record. It's been 8 years since he's won a playoff game, and people are kind of starting to sour on him. So to think of having McCarthy that long, yeah, I don't know, might not make a lot of sense. Again, he probably wasn't asking for that, but that's just kind of how I think it would have played out if McCarthy were to be the head coach for the remainder of Dak Prescott's career. In addition to McCarthy and the Cowboys parting ways, news came out that Deion Sanders and the Cowboys have mutual interest. And I saw it on Twitter. So, of course, after seeing that, I'm like, oh my God, man, is this real? Like, is this something that's actually going to happen? And it took me about maybe 5 minutes to scroll through Twitter and look at some Cowboys accounts that I follow who have shown to be always be credible, to be in the know, and to even some of these guys working closely with the Cowboys. Um, yeah, like it took me 5 minutes to find out that actually this is kind of Deion Sanders trying to get some leverage with the Colorado Buffaloes, because in order for Deion Sanders to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones would have to pay Colorado $8 million to just bring in Deion Sanders, not including the $8 million, but he had to pay Colorado $8 million and then sign Deion to a contract. Which in the NFL, I mean, you think about Deion, his reputation as not just as a player, but what he's been able to do on the college level. I mean, I think a team's probably going to have to throw $10 million at least a year to get him to be their coach. So I can't see Jerry Jones, or excuse me, rather, I seen after finding that out, somebody brought up a good point that if you think that the way Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones operate in free agency, you think that they're going to pay $8 million just to bring Deion Sanders in to pay him more to be the coach of the Cowboys? Pretty far fetched idea, and I can't disagree, man. Just thinking about paying Deion Sanders $18 million, maybe his first year as a head coach, pretty unlikely. That's a nice thought, though. It definitely got excited, because to think about hiring a coach like Deion Sanders, that would, for me, lead me to believe that maybe things are really going to change within this Cowboys organization. And hiring a guy like Deion, I think, is a first major step And I imagine if they're going to do that, that would be an all-in type of move, and then going out and getting Deion, and then being players in free agency for the first time in what feels like a long time. That would be pretty awesome. But again, it took me about 5 minutes to see that that was not likely to happen. That being said, I am kind of curious now who the Cowboys will be targeting. Somebody brought up a good point that after not letting or after negotiating with McCarthy that taking so long, that the Cowboys cost themselves an opportunity to interview guys like Ben Johnson and I believe it was also Ben Johnson and I forget who the other player was. Oh, excuse me, the other candidate was, but two coaches who are it was Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Yeah, two guys from the Detroit Lions because of how they handled the McCarthy situation, they missed opportunities to interview those guys, and now they have to wait, I believe, until the playoffs are over, which not a big deal to me. Of course, I'd love either one of those guys to be the coach of the Cowboys. So we'll see what happens. But and again, it's talking about how I think if we were to had hired Deion Sanders, if we hire a guy like a Ben Johnson or an Aaron Glenn, I think also that could be maybe not the same magnitude of a Deion, only because of Deion's history as a player, but that would lead me to believe that the franchise is uh, the tide is turning here in Dallas and things are going to be different. At least that's what I'd like to believe. I'll be positive there. Let me know what you guys think. If we were to hire a guy like Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson, do you think that that would be those would be all in type of moves, and would that be something that would lead you to believe that things are turning, things are changing here in Dallas? Make sure to leave that in the comments, and of course, guys, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video. I'm Paul Ryan, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.